morning to all the dignitaries and participants. It's very heartening to note that this conference has been organized by IBJA along with Eventide in a hybrid manner, bringing the leaders of world bullion industry under one platform, both physically and virtually. I consider it as a great privilege to participate in the conference and address the participants. All of you know that gold is the oldest precious metal known to the mankind for thousands of years. It has been valued as a global currency, a commodity, and as an investment as well. More specifically, as an investment vehicle, gold is typically viewed as an asset class that maintains its value and purchasing power during inflationary periods. We all know that India ranks among the biggest consumers of the gold in the world, and most of this consumption is catered through imports. Though India has negligible gold production, India does export significant gold jewelry and medallion. As important as the commodity appears in terms of its diverse uses, there are myriad global and local factors influencing the price of the gold. As far as the international factors are concerned, we know that global macroeconomic factors, potency of the dollar, movements in interest rates, especially of the US Federal Reserve, and as far as local factors are concerned, the marriages, harvesting season, etc., plays a vital role in determining the price of the gold. Thus, market-based hedging instruments and strategies such as gold derivatives form an indispensable element of gold ecosystem for the entire value chain participants. Now, as I said, gold is an investment, especially during the inflationary trends, and let's see how the gold moved in a price during these COVID times. The global macros surrounding the current pandemic situation have brought precious metals back in focus for their role as a safe haven asset class, a portfolio diversifier, and a true store of value. Let's see the price movement in that. In international markets, especially COMEX futures, gold price moved from 1,458 US dollars per troy ounce on March 16th. That is just before the pandemic, attack. In this country and all was felt all over the world, and touched a high at 1,802 on October 29, 2021. Similarly, silver prices also edged at 11.68 US dollars per troy ounce on March 18, but scaled the high of $24.14 on October 29, 2021. Now, in line with the same, the gold futures prices which are traded on MCX moved from Indian rupees 38,650 on the same day, that is March 17 for 10 grams, to a high of 47,944. In fact, the prices went up much higher, but then it has come down and settled almost in the range of 47,000 in the month of October. Same way, silver futures prices also moved from 33,580 per kg on March 18 to a high of 64,872 on October 29. So this clearly demonstrates that the precious metals, especially the gold and silver, has got lot of appetite in the Indian market. Bullion complex clearing in India have held a fair share of commodity trading at the commodity exchanges and currently enjoys a share of approximately more than 25% in the total turnover and has potential for much higher growth. As pointed out in the inaugural session by the computer, that SEBI took over FMC in 2015, and SEBI has been playing a very important role in bringing commodity derivatives market across the country to meet the expectations of the various investors and selling them the idea of another asset class. Now, as you all know, SEBI's objective is to protect the interest of investors in securities and promote the development of and to regulate the securities market. SEBI has been widely recognized as a watchful and efficient regulator, and its systems are among the best in the world. It is our constant endeavor to make all segments of securities market, whether it is equity, debt, mutual funds, commodity derivatives, whichever it is, deeper, broader, and more liquid. Now, how do we develop this market? In an endeavor to develop the commodity derivatives market, including the bullion derivatives, SEBI has embarked on the policy initiative touching upon three P's, which I always quote in most of my sessions, that is products, processes, and participants. Since this conference is on gold, let me focus more on the product development, what the role SEBI has played. The introduction of options on futures and on goods has expanded the choice of instruments for market participants to trade. The introduction of futures on commodity indices is a major developmental initiative as it gives access to a basket of related commodities in the form of a neatly structured index with appropriate weights for its components, such as that of MCX Bullion Index, which is called MCX Bulldex. Markets are already showing enthusiasm in these new products, and the turnover in these two categories have been on the rise since their inception at the respective commodity exchanges. Now, as a new asset class, you all know that SEBI is proposing to come out with a gold exchange. You will all be more interested to know what are the features of that. So, the background to that is Honorable Finance Minister in a budget speech for FY 21-22 announced that SEBI will be the regulator for the gold spot exchange, and subsequently it has been decided that SEBI will regulate the entire ecosystem of the gold exchange, including the wealth managers. So it is only natural that India has its spot exchange or a separate segment for gold because of India's ever-increasing affinity with the yellow metal. India is the second largest consumer of gold, as I already said earlier, with an annual gold demand of approximately 800 tons, and holds an important position in the global markets. The important position, however, is restricted currently to India being a consumer of gold and not the price setter of the gold. So we are hoping that the gold spot exchange, which is going to be operational in the few months from now, will change this trend, and India will become a price setter. It is expected that the proposed gold exchange would bring in both the large and retail players to the regulated market, and thus bringing transparency in the price setting of gold, providing assurance to investors of the quality of the gold, along with giving a boost to the India gold delivery standard. As you all know, SEBI went with a consultation process. SEBI consulted all the relevant stakeholders, and a framework for gold exchange has been devised with the approval of the SEBI board. The details of the framework are available in the board memorandum, which is on the SEBI website. I must say and compliment here that a very good response on the proposed framework was received from the market participants, and it helped the SEBI in finalizing the framework. Because as you all know, SEBI is more, knows much of nuances of the securities market as compared to the stock market, especially on the gold. But the market participants were so forthcoming, whether it is, the existing wealth managers or the IBJI or the World Gold Council, all of them came forward and assisted SEBI in making the framework, and then SEBI has decided on putting a framework now. Let me just touch upon what the basics of the framework we are proposing to come with this gold spot exchange. See, that entire transaction flow has been divided into three tranches. As we all know, the first tranche will be deposit of physical gold in the vaults and converting them into a receipt, which will be called as electronic gold receipt. The second tranche will involve trading of those EGRs on the stock exchange. In the third tranche, the EGR, the buyer of the EGR from the stock exchange will get credited to his Demat account, and the investor is entitled to convert that EGR into physical gold as and when he desires by approaching the depository as well as the wealth manager. The framework includes the concept of fungibility and interoperability between wealth managers, because we want to keep the cost at the low, and at the same time the investor should be able to deposit the gold where he wants, at the same time convert the EGR into gold wherever he is, and accordingly we have provided for fungibility and interoperability. This measure, though, comes with its own challenges in implementation, but it holds promise to reduce the cost for buyers at the time of, especially with the oil of gold. Fungibility means gold deposited against EGR1 can be delivered against EGR2, provided both the EGRs had the same contract specifications. It is expected that this measure would help to decentralize the demand and supply of gold from few locations to pan-India. Additionally, interoperability concept means that gold deposited with Vault A can be delivered by Vault B to the extent possible. These steps may greatly reduce the need and cost of movement of the gold. Coming to the liquidity of the instrument, because unless liquidity is there, the market will not become popular. So with a view to bring large client base and especially the retail investor to this platform, the concept of smaller denomination for trading of EGR has been proposed. It means that investor will be allowed to trade in, that is buy or sell, smaller units of EGR, which may be of 5 grams or it may be 1 gram. Of course, we are left it to the stock exchange to decide what will be the tradable lot depending upon the demands from the market. The investors can accumulate the smaller units which they, in the form of EGR which they buy, and convert the same into gold of standardized denomination, that means at a higher denomination. This new policy development in the commodity market ecosystem also requires SEBI to regulate the wealth managers, as they will play an important role as custodians of gold and provide storage, safekeeping and delivery services in the gold exchange. Till now, wealth managers were not under the direct regulatory purview of SEBI and were only accredited by the stock exchanges. With gold exchange, SEBI will be regulating the EGR related business of wealth managers. We will not get into the other business carried out by the wealth managers, so they need not worry about that. It has been made very clear to them during the discussions we had with them. To bring effect to this, regulatory framework for wealth managers is being framed, which provides for registration, network criteria, duties and obligations and other responsibilities of wealth managers. Now, we are putting in place the framework. Now, what is the way forward? How this type of conferences can help SEBI to make this proposed framework operational? So, to have a vision is one thing, but to be able to translate that vision into reality is everything. So, the real work of implementation and giving it a proper shape for the gold exchange has actually just begun. The introduction of new products would enhance market efficiency and depth only if they are accessible and available to a large and diverse set of participants. There is a need, therefore, to lay greater emphasis on awareness programs by harnessing social and electronic media besides great legal outreach. In this direction, as you all may be aware, SEBI along with ISCO is celebrating World Investor Week from November 22 to 28, 2021. So in the next fortnight, SEBI along with the various market participants will be conducting programs to bring awareness amongst the investors during this occasion. Of course, there is no need to reiterate the crucial role that the industry leaders who are participating in this conference can play in this endeavor. The industry leaders can aid the regulator and the commodity derivatives exchanges in market research, efficient contract design, give valuable feedback during stakeholders consultation, product awareness and innovation. This will facilitate introduction of new products to meet the demands of the various stakeholders, impart adequate liquidity, deepening of participation, and thus leading to the exchange prices becoming benchmarks and load stars in their own right. Now, in conclusion, what I would like to say is that to emphasize that the commodity derivatives market can enrich itself and progress only by keeping the stakeholders and value chain participants at its very core, without which it will not be possible to fulfill its fundamental purpose of serving the real economy. It is apparent that the ultimate objective of the commodity derivatives market is not only to achieve manifold increase in volumes and liquidity, but also to ensure that the liquidity so generated serves as a channel for percolation of benefits to the real sector, which indeed is the entire value chain of the commodity complex and the economy at large. It is the fulfillment of this objective that shall be the true test of not only the performance but also the very relevance of the commodity derivatives market. As a regulator, you all know we are always open to new ideas. I therefore request all the participants in this conference to do a deep dive and deliberate on various issues the bullion market and share the takeaways from this conference both with the exchanges and the regulator. This will also enable us to take further appropriate reforms to deepen the commodity derivatives market in India and buttress its global stature and repute. As I said at the beginning, the regulator needs feedback from the market participants, and I am sure this type of conferences play a vital role in bringing the industry leaders together. They can, discuss the various aspects of the product, various aspects of the contract design, and then make appropriate suggestions to the regulator as well as to the exchanges. And we will engage with the market participants time and again, so that whatever we do is benefits the market at large, and the value chain participants are also benefited by that. With these remarks, I would like to once again thank IBJA and the organizers Eventel for inviting me to this conference and giving me an opportunity to participate and share my thoughts on this subject. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, sir. It was such a delight to hear you, listen to you in terms of what are the actions which are being proposed by SEBI. And also a very detailed, you have dwelled very deeply into the framework, the participants. Please allow me, to take one or two questions if it is possible from your side, sir. Mr. P.R. Somasundaram from World Gold Council yesterday moderated this session on the entire gold market, and the topic of discussion was around IIBX. He wanted to ask a question to you, if it is okay.
Very good morning, sir. Thank you very much. It was a very interesting speech. We have been hearing quite a bit since yesterday. My question is very simple. These are very transformative, but the industry has been growing and has grown very fast with a certain set of practices. Without a regulator of the repute of SEBI getting into the bullion market. So this is going to transform completely the way the business is done here. I know you have already mentioned that those who don't want to be part of this, even the vault, etc., they will continue to do what they want to do. But yesterday and in the evenings as we were chatting, there are lots of, I would say, concerns or questions in the minds of smaller players about what this will do. Clearly, many of us understand this is very important for India, for the bullion industry. But because people have been used to certain set of practices, they have some questions. So my question to you is very simple. This being very transformative, what is the kind of PR exercise we intend to do to engage small players in the bullion market and make them understand how important this EGR and trading is? What are the plans to communicate with them directly, digitally, etc.?
First of all, I have to acknowledge the contribution made by Mr. Somasundaram during the discussions we had as part of the working groups. His inputs were very valuable to us. And I have been interacting with him on multiple occasions to understand more about this what you call the product as well as the proposed framework. Now, sir, I said, as I told you, it is SEBI's endeavor to make liquidity available in this product, in this stock exchange, and we want more investors to come, whether it is jewelry manufacturer, whether it is a retail investor, or even we have written to the RBI specifically to allow banks to come and hold this EGR, or even allow lending against this EGR, because the EGR is going to be recognized as a security under the Securities Contract Regulation Act. And we have been discussing with the Government of India on the tax matters to treat it at par with equity. The moment like a company issues a share, the EGR will be issued by the vault manager, and the EGR will have all the features of a security similar to the shares. So the tradability will be absolutely transparent, and the holding will be in the form of DMAT. And how to bring the investors, as I said, we will have to, once the notification is issued on the definition of securities, amending the SCRA to a notification, then we will be coming out with the vault managers regulations, And thereafter, we are waiting for the stock exchange. We have formed actually two working groups, one from the wealth manager side and the other from the stock exchanges side. We have asked the wealth manager to tell us the operational modalities they want to follow at the time of accepting the physical gold and creating the EGR in cooperation with the depository. So that is the first leg of the transaction. In the second leg, we have asked the stock exchanges what type of trading system they want to have, what type of operational modalities as far as trading and settlement is going to be there. So once these two working groups have already met, in all probability by end of this month, we will be ready with the operational framework. What are the nuances of the supply side as well as the trading side? Once these two are available to us, we will be coming out with a formal circular or a SOP or a guideline in a proper form. Before we do that, we will definitely consult people like Somasundaram or IBJ or the World Gold Council and the World Manager once more. And thereafter, once we have this operational framework, we are open. We can, any of your associations can, we have our own investors, investors education and awareness programs. We will request the stock exchanges to organize all over India various investor programs. I am assure you that people from SEBI will come there, SEBI will speak there, SEBI will make, people understand what is the benefits of this new asset class, what are the possibilities of using this as another avenue. As you all know, today the equity markets are just going one side. The reason being that there is no alternate trading available for them, which is a fact. We all know that. So therefore, we will step into that once the operational modalities are ready, and we are in the process. In all likelihood, by end of this month, we may be ready with the first draft set.
Thank you so much, sir. It was so delightful to hear from you, about the action plan. We are so fortunate to have you here address the gathering as the first session for the day. Thank you so much, Mr. Sundareshan, sir, I beg your pardon, Executive Director, Securities Exchange Board of India, for your presence, for your valuable insights on what is happening on the Gold Spot Exchange and the way forward. Thank you so much for your presence, sir. Thank you very much.